Okay, now let's add the functionality that fetches the posts, okay, in the array of posts and each individual post. So let's go maybe up here, and we're going to say async get posts, and we're going to return, not right now, no, let's say let posts array equals to an array, an empty array, and let's say constant post equals to await Firebase Firestore that collection posts that get, okay, we get this promise, and post that for each we're going to say doc, each document is going to be pushed into this posts array, that push like this id doc that id and data doc that data. So this should return like that, and let's return post array. So this is going to get all the posts, and we still need the individual post. So let's say async get post. We're going to handle here a post ID, and we're going to say constant post equals await Firebase Firestore collection posts with the document we want using this ID, and we say get again to get a promise, post constant post data, let's call it like that, and this is going to be post data. So you should return that, and we're going to return here post data. Let's save that, and let's go to the main, since we're going to handle now the retrieval of the posts. So we're going to add this, okay, Firebase, and I'm going to create something else in order to handle the posts inside the state. So we're going to come here into context first, and let's say posts context. Okay, this is just to show you a way of doing this. So inside that, we're going to get some things, React from React, and post from reducers, post reducers, that we still don't have that. So let's add it. And this one is posts reducer.js. And we can continue with this. So what we're going to do here is to create this constant export. We're going to export this, sorry, export constant posts, and it's a React that create context. So this is going to be the context of the posts. Now we're going to say constant initial state, similar to what we did with the Auth reducer. This is going to have these posts and an empty array. Okay, you can handle this. Maybe if you want to add a single post here, add something like this. Okay, since it's an object, so you can get this, or you can just say data, and inside this handle, okay, whatever you want. So let's just say that this is only going to be posts, an empty array, and we're going to export constant post provider that is going to be equal. We need to pass the props here because we're going to get the state from the props. Constant state and dispatch, and react equals react, wait, okay, react use reducer, and this is going to be the posts and the initial state. So we get that. Now the constant value that we are going to pass is going to be equals to this state and dispatch. And now we can return the post provider that provider with the value that is going to be equals to the value that contains the state and the dispatch. And below here, let's just add the props children, where we're going to pass the value to the children. Okay, so we're going to wrap our application with this to get the state of the posts. So let's save this, and now we're going to head to index.js. Okay, and since we have this, okay, you can handle this differently, but I'm just going to add, so let me copy this here, the post provider from the context post content that context, sorry, that we are exporting, and I'm just going to add it here, post provider, and wrap our application in the next line. Okay, so that should work. Okay, and now we can go back to the main again and continue with importing the posts. That, remember that this is the context from context post context, that first is just a object with a post, and that is assigned to empty array. So we're going to say constant state and dispatch equals to react. I need to change my keyboard since that the mouse are not working, the uppercase. So let's say use context posts. Now constant get posts, we're going to handle here all the posts, so equals to async, and we're going to say let underscore posts, just to call it you know, just to give it a name to this empty array, and constant post array equals to await Firebase that get posts, and we're going to catch the error here. So console.log error, and you can also return it, return error like that. So below here we have the post array if that returns correctly. So post array that for each we're going to return each doc and say posts that push into our empty array on line 12. We're going to do the same ID and doc.id and data doc.data. Okay, so in fact we could only use this. Yeah, we could only use oh, but we're going to handle this in the state, that's why we're going to use this. Okay, So we're doing another loop, although we could get, since we're returning only the array, we could only say posts. Yeah, but this could also return an error, this one. So let's continue with this. Let's just do this as a return post array. I don't know why, because I'm not going to return that. I'm just going to say return. And sorry, this is not posts array, this is underscore posts. No, sorry, I'm on the wrong file. I'm on config, so let's go to main. That is fine. And what I said is that since this could return an error on an or the array, we could use this, but let's just handle it like this. Okay, so if it returns the array, what we're going to do now is to return the dispatch, and we're kind of doing one more step here because we are getting the same array and pushing that into this post. But we could also say, okay, let me just get this and we will change that. Okay, because I didn't realize that I was doing one more step. So we're going to call fetch post. We still don't have this. Okay, we only have the context, but we don't have the reducer, and we're going to pass the payload that is going to be the underscore posts, although we're going to change this. Okay, so we're going to say use effect, and we're going to say get posts. That is the function we have of there. So we need to pass here this empty array. Attempt report error bus is not exported. Okay, I missed something on my post context. Seems exporting constant post provider props. Okay, maybe because I don't have the reducer. Okay, because I'm not exporting anything from the reducer, so let's add the reducer. And the reducer is just going to be, let me copy this because this is similar to what we have. This constant post that with the state and action. So we're going to check. Okay, in case you want to do some other things, you can say here case fetch post for the individual post and pass that. Okay, I'm just going to pass the state when we fetch the post and the posts. Okay, so let's see if this works. So it's on index.js context post context and index.js. It seems that it's post provider. Let me see. Okay, we could actually say post provider. Okay, because I said post, it seems that that's the error. So let me add an S here and let me go back to my index, not to my index but to my posts. Okay, so this is the thing that we need to change on line 9 and this should work. Okay, forget this, we're going to fix these warnings later. So now this should work and we should be able to pass these posts using our reducer inside our context. So this is going to be populated with our posts. So we will try to access that. So let me copy a few things. Only this, the header. And Okay, just like that. So we can show the header inside this main. And we're going to say div. So let's say div, and let's add some indentation there. And this one is going to have this class name of posts. Now we're going to check the state that posts that map. So this should return the posts. So for each post, we're going to say return, and we're going to return a div. So let me just copy this. Okay, you can copy that because this is only going to display the image. So we're going to handle this, and let me add some more indentation. A div with class name post. We are going to pass the key. Remember, we have the key, and this div with the image. So let's see. Okay, we have that. We don't have an error. So let me add the style for this. So this one is if I class post. So let me get post hover and post. Let's copy this and let's go to index, remove all this and copy this. Let's see if this works. Okay, you can see these are the two that we have. Okay, and just so you can copy this, this is the post, post a div. Remember that the link is going to be displayed as a anchor. So, and here I have the hover. So for that to work, I'm just going to add another line. That is the transition for the body. This is going to make everything inside the body to have a transition of background size. So it's only going to affect if you change on something the background size. So this is only going to get that. Okay. So let me just get something here because we're passing this. So in case, let's see if this works. Because we are actually doing the same that we're doing inside our configuration. So let's say await that and let's pass posts array. Let's see if that works. Okay, because that is the same that we are passing. Okay, so I'm going to leave this thing like this. If you can, in case you want to do something with the files that are coming, add another property or something, you are free to do it like this. Okay, but yeah, it was just one more step that I was doing and I didn't realize that until now. So what we're doing here is we are just passing the posts array to the payload. That what it's doing is populating these posts. Okay, so we are getting actually from the state the post in case you want to use them somewhere else. I don't know, but this is just to show you. So let me just do this. Okay, so we have that out of the way, but we're not getting that strictly from Firebase, but we're storing this into the state. Okay, and you can see here we are calling the state, the posts, and mapping through all that and getting the posts. Okay, so that is what is going on. So this is going to end here and we're going to fetch the individual post in the next video.